Psalm 23 KJV. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures, he leadeth me beside the still waters. He restoreth my soul, he leadeth me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff they comfort me. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of mine enemies. Thou anointest my head with oil, my cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. There are some scriptures that get etched into your soul, not just because of how they sound, but because of what they do. Psalm 23 is one of those. It's not a poem. It's not a lullaby. It's a survival map. A battlefield chant. A covenant vow between a shepherd and his sheep in the middle of war. This psalm is for those walking through the fire and trying not to lose their minds. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. This is not a statement of comfort, it's a defiant declaration in the face of lack. When David says, I shall not want, he's not sitting in luxury. He's reminding himself who leads him, who fights for him, who feeds him. A sheep doesn't fear because the shepherd is near. It doesn't stress about direction, protection, or provision. It just follows. If you're feeling crushed under the weight of trying to figure out your life, stop. You're not the shepherd. You were never meant to carry that role. You were meant to be led. That means you can breathe again. You're not abandoned. You're not exposed. You're covered. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures, he leadeth me beside the still waters. Why would God make us lie down? Because we don't know when to stop. We only slow down when we crash. But God's not waiting for you to burn out. He intervenes. He interrupts. Sometimes he pulls you out of the chaos and forces you into stillness. And it's in that stillness that something sacred happens. He reminds you who you are and who he is. Still waters are not just peaceful, they're safe. Rushing water can drown a sheep, but still waters restore them. God leads you to places where you don't have to fight to drink. You don't have to struggle to survive. You just have to trust where he's leading. He restoreth my soul, he leadeth me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Restoration is different than relief. Relief is temporary. Restoration is divine. And here's the truth, your soul can be saved but still shattered. Many believers are heaven-bound but emotionally bleeding. But Psalm 23 says your shepherd restores the soul, the broken parts, the weary parts, the parts nobody else sees. And then, he leads you again. But this time, it's on paths of righteousness, not paths of ease, not paths of popularity. Righteous paths are often narrow, uncomfortable, but they're right. And when you walk them, you're not just honoring yourself, you're honoring his name. Yeah, though I walk through. This part flips everything upside down. God doesn't just deliver you from your enemies, he hosts you in front of them. He doesn't just remove the attack, he blesses you in the middle of it. Think about that. Your enemies are watching, waiting for your collapse, and God says, pull up a chair. I'm feeding my child. You don't have to explain yourself to them. You don't have to fear them. You don't even have to fight them. You just sit at the table. That's the kind of bold peace only God can give, when your enemies don't disappear, but your fear does. Thou anointest my head with oil, my cup runneth over. Anointing is a mark of calling, protection, and power. And for sheep, oil on the head protected them from parasites, disease, and torment. So when God anoints your head, he's not just blessing you, he's protecting your mind. That's crucial in warfare, because the first battlefield is always the mind. And your cup? It's not half full. It's not even full. It's overflowing. That's how God gives, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. Not just enough to sustain you, but enough to bless others through you. even in the valley, even in the storm. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life. God doesn't send goodness and mercy to visit you on Sundays. He sends them to follow you all the days. That means they're chasing you when you're not chasing Him. That means when you've given up on yourself, His mercy hasn't. That means when everyone else walks away, His goodness stays. Not because you deserve it, but because that's who He is. And I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. This is the destination. Not just a visit. Not a one-time encounter. Dwelling. God doesn't want weekend visitation rights. He wants relationship. Intimacy. Home. Some of you have wandered far. You've been living in survival mode, spiritual warfare on every side, wondering if you'll ever feel peace again. The answer is yes, but not because the war will disappear. Because the shepherd will never leave you. And his house isn't just a future place. It's a present promise. You can dwell in his presence now. And forever. Psalm 23 is not just a comfort chapter, it's a spiritual strategy. It teaches you how to walk, how to rest, how to fight, and how to trust. It's about survival in the shadows, strength in stillness, provision in the presence of pain. So ask yourself, are you following the shepherd, or just quoting the psalm? Because the power of Psalm 23 isn't in the words, it's in the walk. Let him lead you. Let him fight for you. Let him restore what life tried to steal. Even in the valley, even in the dark, he is with you. And he is enough.